Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the UFC 211 conference call. Today's conference is being recorded, and at this time, I would like to turn the conference over to Matt Radmanovich. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the UFC 211 Miocic versus Dos Santos 2 conference call. Today, we have joining us UFC heavyweight champion Stipe Miocic and his challenger, the former UFC heavyweight champion Junior Dos Santos, in what promises to be a tremendous sequel to their epic December 2014 clash. Also joining us is one of the pound-for-pound best, strawweight champion Joanna Jedrzejczyk, and her surging opponent, Brazilian Jessica Andrade. A reminder to everyone, UFC 211 Miocic versus Dos Santos 2 takes place at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, next Saturday, May 13th, live on pay-per-view. With that, I'll turn it over to our first question.
And if you'd like to ask a question, please signal by pressing star 1 on your telephone keypad. If you're using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off to allow your signal to reach our equipment. Once again, please press star 1 at this time. And we'll pause for just a moment to allow everyone an opportunity to signal for questions.
This is Anna, and I have a question. How are you guys?
Hello. Go ahead, Joanna. What's your question?
How are you guys?
I'm good.
How are you?
How have you been? Where are you?
Good.
Guys, don't be shy. Come on. Let's have a little chat.
And we do have a question in the queue. And we'll take our first question from Jack Encarnacio with the Boston Herald. Please go ahead.
Stipe, could you take us through what it was like recovering from the first fight with JDS?
I mean, it was a fight. It sucked. I had a swollen eye, I had some stitches in my mouth, inside my mouth. But, it's part of the game, I guess. It sucked for, about a week. But after a week, I felt fine. I was good to go. I still had the stitches in my mouth, but a little over a week, they got taken out. So it wasn't too bad. But, it was definitely a lot of bumps and bruises.
How about how often, if at all, you looked at that first fight and preparing for the rematch?
Well, you always look at it, see how things I did wrong in the fight. I did a lot of things wrong. It was my first 5-round fight, but so, me and my coaches watched over that film and see what he did well and see what I did wrong and what I did well and what he did wrong. And, we won a lot of stuff and, definitely have a better game plan this fight.
Now, you have the reach advantage over him. Do you feel like you've gotten better using that? It was sort of surprising in the first fight how often he was able to hit you, considering that advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not trying it as much this time in this fight. That's always an objective. I think definitely going to work on that and, just trying to hit as much.
Of course, we've never seen a heavyweight champion in UFC defend more than twice. You're looking to have your second title defense. Do you have any thoughts on that? Why do you think so few have been able to even defend twice? And what makes you different when you look at those reasons?
Well, I think, honestly, I sit there and, I don't really care about how many defenses I have. All I care about is winning. I love what I do. I'm going to keep winning. I've trained way too hard and sacrificed way too much to give it up. I'm just different, man. I've gotten better every fight. I'm not declining. I'm inclining every fight, and nothing's going to change.
I'm sorry, do we have Junior on the call?
Yes.
Okay, hi, Junior. Could you take us through what it was like for you recovering from the first fight with Stipe?
Well, that was a really tough fight. Stipe Miocic, he has really heavy hands. With really good boxing skills, and it was a tough fight for both of us, I think. And for sure, we learned a lot from each other, from that fight. So now I think we can be more prepared for each other.
Was there anything that the reaction to that fight, what fans said about that fight, that motivated you, lit a fire under you? What do you remember about your feelings on that fight and the reaction to it and your performance?
Well, it's at the end of the day, what matters is the victory, and I think everything what I did in that fight, besides of being a really tough fight, I deserved the win, So I got the win, and I was very happy. I'm still very happy, from that. And now I'm getting prepared to get the same result on this one, Not the same way, but of course I want to win this fight on May 13th.
You've said you're going to stop him within 2 rounds. What makes you confident you can stop him if you couldn't last time?
Yeah, I'm a very confident guy. I like to be positive. So in my dreams, the way and the way I see things going on in the fight, I can see myself beating him and before the end of the second round. That's why I'm saying this. I'm very well prepared. I'm living a great moment. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I have more experience now, and I think the same is happening with him. So, man, it's gonna be a great fight for the fans.
Last question is for Joanna. Joanna, now that the UFC is talking about bringing in the 125-pound weight class, I wondered if that class was available to you when you came to the UFC. Do you think you would have fought at 125 instead of 115?
Like a year ago, hello to everyone. A year ago, I said that I want to become a champion in two different divisions, and people were like, "Oh, Joanna got a little bit crazy," because I was talking about this weight. But I'm happy that UFC did this move and that they are going to do the Ultimate Fighter with the 125ers. So it's amazing. So definitely I'm focused on my next fight with Jessica Andrade at the UFC 211. It's my goal to defend my title for the 5th time, and definitely this year I will fight just in the strawweight division. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen next year? So definitely, if I will get this opportunity to fight for the second belt, I will do that. But definitely this year I want to be focused on 115 division.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And moving on, we'll take our next question from Damon Martin with Fox Sports. Please go ahead.
Yeah, first question is for Stipe. Stipe, when you look at the fight with Junior, the first fight with Junior, we don't see very many heavyweight fights go to decision, much less go to a close decision. So what would you say is the biggest lesson you learned from that decision? And because since then, you obviously haven't gone to a single one.
I think, the lesson I learned is that, not really a lesson, it's more just, just knowing that I belong, that I can hang with anyone there. I went 5 rounds with the former champ, a guy that's been a knockout artist, and I went 5 rounds with him. I know that I belong. I know that I'm not going anywhere, and look where I'm at now.
Yeah, Junior has predicted a finish before the second round. I know you're predicting a finish as well, but in your head, I know you prepare for everything. But is there any scenario where you see this thing going to decision again?
No, I don't think so. I think the same way. I think we both know what someone's getting KO'd.
And to answer that question, how do you predict this fight ends?
Oh, me winning. I'm walking out with the belt still. So, that's going to happen. I'm not going to predict what round, but I'm walking out with the belt.
Yeah. And a question for Joanna. Joanna, obviously you faced, a laundry list of great opponents during your run in the UFC. Is there anything different about Jessica Andrade you haven't seen before in terms of her style, in terms of what she brings into the fight?
Of course, she's my next opponent, and she's the next challenger for the strawweight belt. So Jessica proved a lot in the strawweight division. She drops from 135. She won 3 fights straight. So she's the right person. So it's going to be a really tough fight between me and Jessica. She's very, very strong physically. She likes to fight. She likes to exchange the punches. But like I said, like with every camp, I'm just getting better and better, and I want to defend my title, and this is what I want to do. And I put on such a great work with every camp.
Yeah. One other question about the flyweight division, Joanna. Right now you're focused on strawweight, but are you excited that the UFC is exploring adding more women's divisions? I mean, this would be the fourth division.
Yes, and I'm really happy. Like in different, in other organizations, there is more female divisions. I'm very happy that UFC finally did this move, and more opportunity for all of us. You know, I'm not happy for Valerie Letourneur who left and just signed with Bellator, because I think she's like one of the best female fighters in the UFC. So, but it's gonna take a while. When they're gonna start the 125 division, so I think she did a good move, because she has to keep on going. But the thing is, like, we need this division. So many girls from 135 will drop to 125, and some girls who are having troubles with making 115, they will go up, and it's very good. It's like female MMA is getting bigger and bigger. People want to watch female fighters, so it was a good move, good decision, the right decision.
And Joanna, your focus is 100% on Jessica Andrade, but I am curious. You know, Rose Namajunas seems to be the next number one contender. She won her last fight. I know that's what Dana White has said. She's the number one contender. She's going to be in Dallas. Do you mind that distraction, knowing that there's already another contender lined up for you? Is that annoying that it's already going to be kind of in your face before you even get a chance to celebrate, or is it exciting to know that you already kind of have your next opponent lined up, assuming everything goes well at UFC 211?
It's exciting, It's not annoying. I like to keep on busy, so I know that I will put on a great show. I put on good camp, good work for the last few weeks, and I'm very happy that there is next opponent for me in line. And like I said, I want to. If I'm going to be healthy, I would like to fight very very quick after my victory at the UFC 211. So the strawweight division is the lightest division, but definitely is one of the toughest divisions in the UFC. So I'm very happy that there is lots of talent, lots of good female fighters, and doesn't matter to me who I'm gonna meet in the next fight after the fight with Jessica.
Thank you, Joanna. And one question for Jessica. I know, Jessica, it is a big cut for you to get to 115, and everyone's talking about flyweight. So I'll just ask you: are you excited that there is the possibility of a flyweight division being added, and is that something you may want to test down the road?
Ele falou que sabe que é difícil você bater o peso, e com essa nova categoria, o peso mosca, te anima? Ficou animada que abriu uma categoria nova?
Bom, eu não sofro tanto para bater o peso, né? Acho que eu me adequei muito bem à categoria de 52 quilos, mas essa nova categoria está vindo para somar. Com certeza, muitas meninas que sofrem mais do que eu para bater o peso vão trocar de categoria, e isso é muito bom, né? Ver que o UFC está evoluindo cada vez mais e está acreditando mais no nosso trabalho feminino, que é o que a gente faz muito bem.
I don't really suffer that much anymore to make weight. I've adapted pretty well to my division, but it's always good to see the UFC is opening up new divisions, and I think a lot of the girls that have a harder time cutting weight are going to move up to that division. But it's good to see the UFC still believes in the women, and still building for to have better women fighting.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And moving on, we'll take our next question from Jim Edwards with Champions. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. Matt, are you still on the line? Matt from UFC. I just want to ask you quickly whether, what's happening with this Tough 26 series then, because we've had it confirmed, then we've had it unconfirmed, and then us guys in Europe received the PR release again this morning. So can you just give us the latest, please?
Sure, Jim. It's an idea that we've been tossing back and forth, and we were conceptualizing. And so, frankly, it just came out a little early. We haven't confirmed it. We have no firm ideas on it. We're just kind of waiting and seeing. And it was an idea that was put to paper, but that just got out too early.
Great stuff, Matt. Thanks for clearing that
Thank
up.
you.
I'll start with Junior, if that's all right. Junior, obviously, you've only fought 3 times, I guess, in the last 3 years. Like, can you tell us really how you've kept yourself sharp in between all these different layoffs, and how healthy are you feeling right now?
Well, I'm feeling, one of the best moments of my life. I'm feeling very well. Like I said, I'm feeling stronger. I'm feeling, very healthy, and I'm feeling this is my time. I'm feeling things are working well to me, and I put in a good work in the gym, and now I'm ready for this fight. I respect Miocic a lot, and the way I'm gonna show this respect for him, is giving my best during the fight. So I'm ready for this.
For sure, and obviously, Junior, you haven't fought in Brazil for about 9 years now. Is that a big ambition for you? I guess left in your time in the sport to go back there and I guess defend a title after this fight.
Well, it would be great for me to be fighting Brazil, because after I'm in the UFC, I never fought in Brazil. So, but I know anywhere I fight in this world, Brazilian fans they will be supporting me. They will be rooting for me. So that's what matters. I don't really care where I'm gonna be fighting. And now I'm fighting in Dallas. I already fought in Dallas in 2009. So I feel a good energy fighting there again, and I know I'm gonna have many Brazilians with me, and also many Brazilians watching the fight there in Dallas. So man, I know everywhere I go, I'm gonna have a lot of Brazilians with me.
Great stuff, and I've just got one question for Joanna, if I may. Joanna, in your last few fights, you've had a bit of rivalry, I guess, in the build-up to these fights with Claudia and Carolina. This time around, it all seems very amicable. There's a lot of respect between you and Jessica. Well, I guess, what do you prefer? Do you prefer when there's a bit of aggro, a bit of tension between you two, or do you prefer it being a bit quiet, just like this one?
Of course, I prefer the calm before the storm, and that's the thing that I know Jessica for a while. We used to have be under the same management, but I left Sucker Punch. Now I have new management. But the thing is, like, we used to train together, have fun together, and I respect Jessica as a human and as an athlete. So I hope that we're gonna put on a great show in the octagon. I don't know what's going to happen during the wins or face-off. I don't know. I just there is a limit, so people cannot step on my toe and act like nothing happened, because like I said, there is a limit. And but I'm full of respect to Jessica. The same way I respect Carolina or Claudia Gadelha,
Mhm. Great stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
And once again, if you'd like to ask a question on today's call, please press star, then 1 on your telephone keypad. And we'll take our next question from Steven Maratko with MMAJunkie.com. Please go ahead.
I have a question for you, Anna. Dana previously said he wasn't going to open up a flyweight division. At least that was my understanding. What do you think changed his mind?
Who's Dana?
Yes.
Or Sean? I don't know. I think like a few years ago he said that there is not going to be female division in the UFC, and here we go. We have a fourth division in 3-4 years here actually. So it's pretty amazing, and people love watching female fighters. So it's good. It's good. I think. I don't know. I didn't know about. I heard about that from someone. Yeah, but it's good. I'm more than happy.
So it's your understanding, or is it your understanding that Tough 26 will feature flyweights, or are you not sure at this point?
I think it will be 125.
Okay.
I hope.
And if they do open that up, when would you be? You said you wanted to defend your title 6 times.
Yeah.
When would you like to make that move?
So I don't know. Like, it's gonna take a while. The trials are next month, probably, or maybe July. So it's gonna take like a year probably. When we're gonna till we're gonna get some 120 fighters. So that's the thing, and I don't know. I want to be focused on my next title defense with Jessica Andrade. She's a very tough opponent, and so I want to put on good fight, a good show in Dallas next week. And if I'm going to be healthy, if I'm not gonna get injured, I would like to fight very quick because I like to be busy. So I don't know. Maybe next year I will fight for the 125 belt.
Gotcha. And then a question for Junior and Stipe, if I could. If you guys are playing fantasy matchmaker, who do you think should fight the winner of this fight? And maybe we start with Stipe.
I have no idea. I'm not a matchmaker. If I was, I wouldn't be fighting. So I'm terrible at their decisions. I know Overeem's fighting Verdum, I think. So that looks like it'd be probably the next one up. So yeah, I really have no idea, but I'm not really worried about that. I'm worried about next week.
Gotcha. And Junior?
Yeah, me too. I don't really care about that. I'm not thinking anything about after this fight. I'm just thinking about Miocic now, but it doesn't really matter. We are having. I'm having actually a very tough fight now against the number one guy in the world, heavyweight in the world. So that's the most exciting thing. After this, it doesn't really matter now.
You tweeted the other day that you love all this talk about MMA and boxing, the crossover, and you've been known as the guy for a long time as one of the best boxers in the division. Who would your fantasy opponent be if the UFC allowed you to box someone? What's that?
Sorry, let me
Can you
just
repeat,
translate. I had to unmute. Junior, he asked, you tweeted que você tweetou recentemente que você adora que está tendo toda essa fala sobre o crossover entre o boxing e o MMA. Se você fosse permitido a ter uma luta de boxing, qual seria o adversário que você gostaria de enfrentar?
Well, if they allowed me to have a boxing match, I'm going to be the champion of the UFC, so I would like to fight for to see who's the real baddest man in the planet. There is only one baddest man in the planet, So I would like to fight Anthony Joshua or maybe even Tyson Fury. I would like to fight for the title. Title against title. That's it. In a boxing match.
And Stipe?
Yeah, He's right. I'm the champ, so I would probably want to fight the champ. Whoever you think, Wilder or Joshua, or whatever, or Fury or Klitschko, whoever. I just want to fight the best.
What do you think of the champ, Joshua?
Tough, man. He's super tough. Big boy. It's hard. Definitely needs to get his wind up a little bit, but that was a big match anyway. So that's understandable. But he's tough, man. He's young, he's hungry, and he put a beating on him.
Is a guy like Francis Ngannou on your radar just yet? 5 wins.
Oh yeah, definitely tough guy. He's been coming up, beating some good guys, and just, watch out for everyone, man. Everyone's gunning for you.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
And moving on, we'll take our next question from Mance Fresicki with Dallas Morning News. Please go ahead.
This is a question for either of the heavyweights. We have a local fighter here who's making his heavyweight debut in Dallas. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think are some of the biggest challenges in rising up in the heavyweight division? What are the biggest differences from being a heavyweight fighter as opposed to the other weight classes? Thank you.
Is that for me?
Sure, take it.
well, man, there is a lot of good things going on in the heavyweight division. We have some really good guys, coming up now, like Ngannou, like the Beast, that guy, So It's very exciting. But the difference between the heavyweights and the other divisions, it's it's a sport. They only have the weight divisions to protect the fragile ones. So yeah, they have the heavyweight division and the other divisions. I think to be the baddest man on the planet, it takes a lot, and that's why the heavyweight division is so exciting.
Do you want me to say something? Yeah, I mean, I think with the new, coming to UFC, the heavyweight division is so exciting because you never know what's going to happen. You have a bunch of big guys with small gloves on, anything can happen. It takes one punch, and especially you're fighting in the local shows that have 1,000 or two to 18,000 is a big difference. And, it gets overwhelming, first time walking out. But I think if he just takes it in stride, he'll be fine.
You.
All right, and once again, if you'd like to ask a question on today's call, please press star, then 1 on your telephone keypad. And we'll take our next question from Jeffrey Harris with 411 Mania MMA. Please go ahead.
Thank you all for joining us today, and thank you for bringing a card like this to the great state of Texas, and I hope you all get to try some Rudy's Barbecue while you're there. First question for Joanna Champion. When I look at your records and Jessica's, one thing I noticed is that Jessica's fought in 2 divisions, but she's never had to go 5 rounds before, and I think, quite frankly, you're one of the best 5-round fighters in the business. Do you think that's going to make a difference in this fight, that you've fought in 5-round championship fights before, and you fight so well in those championship rounds, and that's something Jessica's never experienced?
Hi, good to talk to you. Yeah, championship rounds are different, and not so many of the fighters can stand this, But at some point, I'm even every round, So Jessica hasn't fought 5 rounds yet, but she will have this opportunity next week. So we will see. I believe that she's ready to fight 5 rounds. She's ready for 5 rounds of real war because I bring her to the octagon, and that's the thing.
And for Stipe, considering this is a rematch, and the first fight was very close, it was a tough fight. Is it in your head at all that you're not just having to beat Junior, but you might have to beat the perception of the judges as well in this rematch?
I mean, listen, man, you never really want to go to the judges. That's one of the main rules, And I lost last fight. Nothing I can do about it. But lots changed in the last 2.5, 3 years. I'm a champ now. The reason why I'm champ, nothing's gonna change. I mean, I'm not gonna persuade anyone. I'm just gonna win the fight. That's what I'm gonna do.
And Stipe, have you seen any of the Tommy Toehold videos that rip on you saying you're Stone Cold Stipe? I was wondering if you've ever seen those and what you thought of them.
Oh, hell yeah.
Great. And last question. You said after your last fight with Alistair Overeem, you said you were not happy with the payouts for that fight and that Overeem received more money than you, and you called it a slap in the face and you were unhappy with the UFC. Have those issues been worked out, and are you happy with what's going on with this fight?
I'm fighting May 13th, aren't
I? Yes, you are, sir.
So, we're good.
All right, then. Thank you.
That's all I got to say. Yeah.
And moving on, we'll take our next question from Mark Podolsky with News Herald. Please go ahead.
Hey, this is a 2-part question for Stipe and Junior. Junior, first, for you, it's been 5 years since you've been champion, and what do you remember most about your reign and, the enjoyment of being the heavyweight champion? And do you feel like this is your last best shot to reclaim the title?
Oh my gosh, of course not. I'm just 33 years old, and I'm on top of this. I'm fighting against the top guys, since the beginning. Since I arrived here at the UFC, in 2008, I was fighting with the guy who was supposed to fight for the title. Since of that, I'm on top of this division. So it's one more step in my career, and I have no doubts that I'm going to become champion. And what I miss the most is, man, I miss the feeling. I miss the feeling to be the baddest man on the planet, to be the number one in my division, to be the champion, to live the opportunity as a champion, and enjoy it. It's good. We all work for that, and when we reach that point, it's amazing. So I lived that before, and I want to live this again now on May 13th.
Hey, Stipe, since you lost to JDS, you steamrolled Mark Hunt, and you just, with 3 straight first-round knockouts. Is there one thing that you attribute to this, incredible rise since this last fight with JDS?
My coaches, my wife, my family, everyone's sticking behind me. Make sure that they kept me in there. Make sure that lose my eyes on the prize. They just they've always been there for me, and that's all. I'm grateful for what I have.
And I think you hinted last time when you fought at the Quicken Loans Arena, that it was just there was some pressure there in front of the hometown. Now you're fighting on the other side of the country, and I'm wondering, do you feel, is this kind of going to be nice to kind of be away from fighting in your hometown and just kind of just fighting? Are you looking forward to that?
Oh, of course, man. I don't have to be Ticketmaster now. I just worry about the fight, and I worry about people calling me about tickets, and where I'm staying at, and it's gonna let me do my thing, and it's gonna be nice, But it was great fighting in Cleveland. It was, I fought at home, but I like Dallas. I went over there about 5 weeks ago. It was great. 6 weeks ago, it was amazing. But yeah, I'm happy, But definitely, I love Cleveland. I would love to fight in Cleveland again, but definitely it'll be a different story next time. But yeah, like I said, I don't have to be Ticketmaster. That's all I care about. I don't have to be that.
Hey, last one, and your fight against Ober, and you got him to the mat, and once you got him to the mat, it was all over. And and a lot of these heavyweight fights, going toe to toe, throwing the big punches. And with your wrestling background, do you feel like you should do more in terms of getting guys down to the mat?
No, man, it's there. It's there. I'm not gonna over push it and put myself in an awkward position or a bad position where I get caught with something. If it's there, I'm gonna go for it. If not, it's there. It's there. It's not. It's not. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna do what I do and win the fight.
Thank you.
And that does conclude today's question and answer session. I'd like to turn the call back over to Mr. Radmanovich for any additional or closing remarks.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for joining us and the athletes that are competing on UFC 211, Miocic versus Dos Santos 2. Again, Dallas, Texas, May 13th, Saturday, live on pay-per-view. Please join us then. Thank you to everyone. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Once again, that does conclude today's conference. Thank you for your participation. You may now disconnect.